I came across this beautiful dress on IG and I thought, why not do a tutorial? Hi y'all, my name is Timmy. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time coming across this channel, thank you so much. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always tuning in. Without further ado, let's get started. For this tutorial, I made use of 2.5 yards of thick latches, and I'm going to go ahead and mark 3 inches, which is going to stand as the folds that we have in the front of the dress. I'm just going to go ahead and indicate it, and I'll go ahead and use my pin to hold it down. I folded my fabric using my hip measurement plus 10 inches extra. Now to start with the dress, I'm going to rule out a straight line on the top of my fabric. This is going to stand as my shoulder line. I'll then go ahead to indicate my neck width and my neck depth. For my neck width, I went in by 3.5, and for my neck depth, I'm going to go in by 1.5 inches. After marking the points, I'll go ahead and use my curved ruler to connect the points to form my neckline for the back. I'll also be forming my neckline for the front as well, since we're cutting them both at the same time. For the front neck depth, I went ahead to mark 3 inches, and I'm going to connect to the 3.5 that we marked at first. So this will stand as my front neckline, and then I'm just going to connect it to the 3 inches extension. Now I'm going to be working with my shoulder measurement. I will impute my shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 8. After marking my shoulder measurement, I'll also go ahead and add 6 inches, which is going to stand as my sleeve. So I made the marking there at 14. I'm so sorry that my camera isn't capturing everything, but I'll try and explain. So I marked 6 inches, and I'm also going to mark 2 inches for the folding. After marking this, I'll go down by 1 inch and I'll connect straight to my neckline, which this 1 inch will stand as my shoulder slope. I'll just use my ruler to connect straight to my neck. I'll then go ahead to mark my sleeve opening. For my sleeve opening, I marked 9 inches from the 1 inch that we have for the shoulder slope. I'm really so sorry that the camera isn't capturing everything, but I did mark 9 inches on the edge where I have my shoulder slope. So this line, I just went ahead to also connect with a straight line, and that was then as my sleeve opening. Now I'm going to go ahead and mark my body points, which is 10.5 for my bust point, 16.5 for my waist, and also I'll go ahead and connect with a straight line. I'm just going to go ahead and indicate the same measurements on this side as well to get a straight line. Then the next thing is to mark my length for the dress. This length is not the full length, it's the length where I want my ruffles to start from. So I went ahead to mark 25, and I just went ahead to rule out a straight line. Now I'm going to go ahead and label the hip, the waist, and the bust. For my dress, I'm going to be using my hip measurement divided by 4. Then I'm going to go ahead and add 4 inches for ease. I'll also go ahead and mark what I have on my hip, on my waistline. I'll also go ahead and mark it on my bust line as well. So I went ahead to mark 9.5, which is my hip measurement, and then I added 4 inches. I'll then also use my ruler to connect this point. And I'll go ahead and curve in my sleeve opening to my bust point. So this will be my armhole point. I then also went ahead to mark 0.5 for my stitching allowance on the bottom. And I went ahead to use my ruler to connect the points. I'll also go ahead to mark 0.5 for the stitching allowance on the shoulder line. And then I connected with a straight ruler. Then on the side, I'm going to mark 0.5 for my stitching allowance. After doing this, I'll just go ahead to cut out my pieces. We'll be cutting the front and the back piece together. So before cutting, I'm just going to go ahead and indicate my neckline on the front piece as well. The front piece is the one that has this 3 inches extension. I just went ahead to use my curved ruler to connect to my neck width. When cutting, we're going to go ahead and cut out the back neckline first before cutting out the front neckline. After cutting, I'm just going to go ahead and separate my pieces. So the top one is my back. I'll just go ahead and label it the back. And this will be my front piece. Then I'll also go ahead to cut out the neckline that I have for the front. So this is my front piece. I'll then go ahead and mark the 3 inches that we have for the extension in the front. For this extension, we're going to be stitching along the 3 inches line on the front side. Now for the ruffles that we have on the bottom of the dress, I'm going to mark out my 25 inches and my full length will be 32. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark the 32. And also what we have there, the total that we have minus 32 is 7. So I'm going to go ahead and indicate the 7 all over. To cut out the ruffles, I'm going to go ahead and times my hip measurement plus the allowance that I gave. I'm going to double it. I'm going to make it the hip measurement that I have on the dress times 2. This is going to give it the fullness that it has on the bottom. I'll just go ahead and cut out the pieces. I'll keep on cutting the pieces until I have the full length that I want for the ruffles. After measuring and making sure that I got the width that I need for the length of the ruffles, I'm just going to go ahead and trim it out, and I'm going to go ahead and join it to form a long piece. Now to join the front, I went ahead to stitch in the 3 inches width on the right side of my material. So after joining, this is what I have, and I'm going to go ahead and open it up this way and give it a good press. So this is my piece after ironing. I'm just going to go ahead and bring in my bias tape. This is what I'm going to be using to close up the raw edges of the neckline. I'll just go ahead and stitch on the folded line, and I'll also go ahead and pipe the neckline. I'll go ahead and do the same thing for the back neckline, and I'll come back and show you. So this is what I have for my back, and this is what I have for my front. The next thing now is to face my fabrics right sides on each other, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch in the shoulder line. After stitching in the shoulder line, this is what I have. I'm going to go ahead and bring my fabric in. I'll go ahead and close up the sides by 1/2 inch that I left. This is my piece after stitching in the sides. I then decided that I'm going to insert my pockets. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my fabric on the sides and insert my pockets. So this is what I have after inserting my pockets. Now I'm going to be working on the ruffles on the bottom. So I'm going to bring in my piece. I'll go ahead and stitch one side of the fabric by 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to go ahead and ruffle in the other part into the dress. So this is what I have after ruffling in the bottom part. Now for the last part of the dress is to insert my sleeve. So after inserting my sleeve, this is what I have, and I'm so in love with this dress at this point. This dress came out really beautiful. Like, I'm so in love with this dress. And this is all we have for the tutorial. I hope this tutorial was very helpful. If so, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video. And bye for now.